right, third graders. Hi.
Hi.
How are you guys?
Good.
I'm excited to get to teach you something today. I'm normally not in a third grade classroom. I get to have you next year possibly, but normally I'm not with you this year, right? So I want to put up a success criteria. Success criteria, have you guys heard that before?
No.
Success criteria, what it is it tells you what you need to do today during this lesson in order to be successful. You can read that and we can talk about it, and if you're able to do this at the end of the lesson, then you were successful with today's lesson, okay? So you guys are third graders, so I know you all know how to read already. So I'm going to allow you guys to read it first, and then I'm going to read it. So let me get it kind of more centered for you here for a second. Go ahead, I want to invite you to read the success criteria. Go ahead and read that to yourself for a second. Might anyone be willing to share it with us? Yes, Hannah, what does it say? You're all Hannah's little sister. Is it Gracie?
Mm-hmm.
All right, perfect.
I'm able to look at the subtraction problem and then choose the best strategy to use.
Yeah. So you're gonna look at a problem. I'm gonna put a problem up in just a moment, and then you're gonna look at it. Then you're gonna look at it and say, what's the best way to solve this? How many people have subtracted things before? Yeah, a lot of you guys have subtracted things. Do you have a favorite way to subtract?
Mm-hmm.
Probably. I want you, hey, today, you're not going to go into this saying, I'm going to use this strategy. I want you to look at the problem first, and then say, what strategy should I use? Okay, thanks. Okay? So, you're successful if you look at the problem, and then you pick the best strategy. Capiche? All right. Who's ready for the first one?
Me.
Okay. First one is 101 minus 97. Put your fist against your chest. Put your fist against your chest, a few people. And when you think of one way to solve it, put up a thumb and try to get the answer. But once you solve it one way, think of another way you might solve it. So eyes on there, thinking. I want to see thinking in your heads. It looks like most people have at least one way. Who might be willing to share how you solve this problem? Yes, what's your name?
Layla.
Layla, how did you solve this?
I did 100 and then I took away 1 and then I did 100, take away 96. And
So-
then I added.
So you did 100. Oh. So you did 100 minus 1. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not 100, is it?
No, 100 minus 96 and then I added the 1.
And then you added the 1. So 100 minus 90 what?
6.
96. And got an answer of? It's 100 minus 96.
Miss Kelsey?
Mrs. Gelsky's not here. It's
Oh,
Mr.
I'm
Scully.
sorry. Bridie's dad is here to pick her up.
All right.
And have her grab her Bridie folder and everything, okay?
I got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
She's gonna be here.
All right, looking up here. Go ahead, bud. All right. 100 minus 96. 100 minus 96. What is 100 minus 96?
4.
4. Okay. 100 minus 96 is 4. And then you said you added 1 back in.
Yeah.
Why did you add 1 back in?
Or I added 2 in because I had to add the 1 for 97 and the 1 for 100.
So you got an answer of what? 6?
Yeah.
So your answer was 6. Because you added 1 back in for 97 because it was 97 and 1 back in for 101. Okay. I forgot a step. You said the answer was 6. Might there be another answer some of y'all came up with? I heard 6, so maybe the answer is 6. Somebody else have a different answer?
I used plus
Well, don't tell me how you did it yet. What is the answer, do you think?
4.
You think 4?
Yeah.
Any other answers? I got 4 and 6. Anybody else get 6? Anybody else get 4? Okay, I see some 4s and some 6s. Okay, do you want to tell me how you did this?
I used 97 and I tried to try to add up. I added up till I get to 101, and how many numbers I added up is the answer.
So 98, 99, 100, 101. Is that what you're saying you did?
Yeah.
And so you counted up?
Yeah. 2.
So you counted on. To subtract. Cool. I would name that counting on, or counted on to subtract. So what was your answer then?
4.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. It took adding 4 to get up to 101. Nice. Okay. So 101. So 97 plus 4 equals 101. Yes, no?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. Counting on to subtract. You guys see that? Okay. Okay. Our success criteria, if you remember, our success criteria is to you choose a strategy after you looked at the problem. So look at this one now. You ready? Our next one is 101 minus 6. Fist against your chest. Fist against your chest. 101 minus 6. Okay, it looks like most of y'all have a way. Who might be willing to share an answer with us? Yes.
Just the answer.
Yeah.
95.
So you think the answer is 95. Do I have any other answers you think it is? A different answer. What do you think?
We'll just say it was awesome.
Oh, so the same? Okay. What do you think the answer is?
93.
93. Okay. Any other answers? Any other different answers? 94 you think it may be? So all in that same range. 94. Would you be willing, buddy, to share how you did it?
Yeah, because if I just take away the 1, but I keep the 6, and then I take away, it's 100, take away 6, and that's 94, but then I add 1, and that's 95.
Can you say that one more time?
So I take away the 1, but I keep the subtraction number
Take away what one?
from 101.
Take this away so you make it 100.
Yeah,
Okay.
but then I take away 6 still.
You still take away 6. So 100 minus 6, what is that?
That's 94, but then I add 1 to make it 95.
Oh, because you took 1 away here,
Yeah, but I didn't like.
so then you added it back in
Yeah.
and got 95.
Mhm.
You know what you did? The strategy you used here was to, you found a friendly number. Have you guys ever heard of that before?
Yeah.
You guys found a friendly number, which was 100. And you use compensation. Compensation, the compensation method. Good job. Cool. Did anybody use the strategy we wrote earlier, counting on? Counting on or adding on to subtract? What'd you say, bud?
It would take forever.
It would take forever, yeah.
Because you have to, it's 6 plus something equals 101.
You guys don't care if we keep counting until after the school bell rings and the buses go home, right? We can stay here all night, right?
Yeah.
See, watch. We can take as long as we want. So we're gonna count up to 100. We're gonna count up to 101, okay? We're gonna subtract by adding on. Okay. 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, this is fun. 11, 12, 13, 14. Whoa, this is a lot longer than I thought. 15, 16, 17, 18. Am I anywhere close yet? Anybody else sweating?
No. I'm not sweating 2 hours ago.
You know what I just realized? I understand why maybe you didn't use counting on to subtract or adding on to subtract. With this problem, it takes forever, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, the last problem, that was a good strategy. You only had to count on 4 more to get to 101. That was a good strategy for the last one. Is it a good strategy for this one? No. Man. All right. Who's ready to see the next one? The answer was 95. It was 95.
I had a different way to solve it.
Okay, maybe you can show me it on the next one. Okay.
Is it only going to be subtraction?
Yeah, these are all subtraction problems.
You could count back. I like the one.
All right, here we go. Couple more.
Okay.
Fist, how's your quiet? Fist against your chest. Fist against your chest. And go ahead and solve 153 minus 145. 145. Okay. Eyes here. What do you think the answer is? Yes.
8.
You think the answer is 8? Any other answers out there that people think it might be?
21.
21?
What?
No. 21 is her thought. What do you think?
12.
You think 12?
I mean 12.
Oh, you thought 12 as well? So another 12? That's right. Yeah.
7.
You think the answer might be 7? Yeah? You have your hand up, hon?
Yeah.
No? You? What do you think the answer is?
12.
So a couple 12s, and we got an 8. Okay. Christian?
9.
9 maybe?
7.
Yeah? You think a 12 as well? A lot of 12s. Okay. So somebody who got 12, you want to share with us how you got 12?
Basically I did the up and down way. So I put 1, 5, 3 on the top and then 1, 4, 5 on the bottom.
So you use what we would call the standard method.
And I minus the 3 from the 5 and since I know 5 plus 2 equals 3. Well, 5 plus 2 equals, no, not 5 plus 2. 3 plus 2 equals 5, so the 5 minus the 3 would equal the 2, and the 5 minus the 4 would be the 1, and then the 1 minus the 1 would be 0.
Okay. So you did 3 minus 5 is
2.
2. So So that's what you did. 5 minus 4 is
1.
1, and 1 minus 1 is 0. Okay, so you got 12 using that method. Does somebody want to challenge that method, or maybe notice something that they would like to bring up? Yes, hon.
Because when you minus 3 minus 5, it would be like a negative 2. So you would have to cross off the 3 and make it a 13, and cross off the 5 and make it a 4.
So you have to borrow
Mm-hmm.
and make this a 13. 13 minus 5 is what?
13 minus 5
You can phone a friend if you want. 8. And then 4 minus 4 is 0, and 1 minus 1 is 0. So we had quite a few people. Think 12, and so they saw 3 minus 5 is 2. But I got a question. If you have 3 cookies, look at me. If you have 3 cookies, can you take 5 away?
No.
See that? It would be negative 2. So when you have 3, you can't take 5 away from it. So you had to borrow, like, what was your name? Maddie said, right? Okay, can you chuck that to me, bud? Thank you. All right. So, did anybody use counting on to subtract?
Two.
No, I didn't.
Counting on to subtract. What did you do?
I did 153 plus 7 because I know that's 100. Well, actually,
No, you didn't do this. Do you want to revise your thinking?
no.
Okay. You wanna just watch for a minute. You're saying? Okay. Did anybody do it counting on?
No, I had a different one.
Anybody do counting on to subtract? Did you? Okay. Go ahead. Tell me.
I started with 145.
So you started with 145.
And then I counted up to 153. And
So, like, kind of in your hat or on your fingers?
kind of on my fingers, so I started at 5, and then I went up, and once I went to the 10, I added it to the 4, so I made it the 5, and I just kept on counting all the time.
So we can count. So we're at 145. Everybody hold up your fist like this. You're at 145, right? And we're going to stop when we get to 153, right?
How many cookies?
We're going to count from 145 up to 153. Ready? 146, 147, 148, 149, 150, 151, 152, 153. How many fingers is that?
8. I know a faster way to say 1.
There might be a faster way. Just a second though. So if we counted up, then we would count 146, 147, 148, 149, 150, 151, 152, 153, and you can count how many did that take? Took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 153 is 8 away from 145. So you used the counting on method to subtract. Counting on or adding. It's also called the adding on. Eyes here once, guys, gals. I want to thank you guys for helping me do this. Just a second. I want to encourage you to look at the problem first. To look at the problem first before solving it and say, is there an easier method to solve this? I want to show you one more. I'm actually going to do it, and I want to show you why counting on to subtract might be a strategy you want to use in the future. Can I have your eyes up? Okay. Watch up. Counting on to subtract. Okay, I'm going to show you one more. And this time, you can kind of think about it, but I'm going to kind of just go along and do it as, we go, watch this one. So this time it's 1,003 minus 992. When you're in fourth grade, you're going to be subtracting and adding 4-digit numbers, if not bigger. Okay? So looking at this, if I were to use the standard method, let me show you what that would look like. The standard method that you learn, and that's a great method, but it's not always the most efficient. 992. If I subtracted that, looking at this right now, that's going to be a lot of borrowing.
Yeah, that is.
I can do 3 minus 2
I know one.
is 1. But now I get to the zeros. I can't do 0 take away 9. If I have nothing, I can't take 9 away. And then the next one has a 0 too. I have to go all the way to the 1,000 spot. I have to go all the way to the 1,000 spot to borrow. I got to turn this into a 0, this one into a 10, but I still can't do that one. So I got to borrow from this one. This becomes a 9 or a 900, and I bring one of those hundreds back, and it becomes 10. So 10 minus 9. Now I can do 10 minus 9. What is 10 minus 9? 1, and then 9 minus 9 is 0, and 0 minus nothing is 0. So the answer is 11, right? But that was a lot of steps. Is it easy to get confused in some of those steps?
Yes.
Do one of these bad boys right here. Do one of these if you feel like sometimes you get confused on what to do when you're borrowing. Right? It can be confusing sometimes. So let me show you how you could have counted on to subtract. So you see this right here? You can start at the lower number and count up. I'm going to count on. You ready? So I'm not going to have enough fingers, I don't think, but we'll see if we can figure it out, right?
1, 2,
So maybe, you know what? Can I use tallies?
yeah.
Here we go. Starting at 192, if I'm drawing a number line here, and going to 1,003, right? Okay. I am going to count up to that. So everybody start with me. Ready? 193, 194, 195. You know what? I said 190. It's not 190. What is it?
990.
Silly me. Can we start over?
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you for letting me. Let's try that again. 992, and then it goes, so 993, 994, 995, 996, 997, 998, 999, 1,000, 1,001, 1,002, 1,003. I hope I didn't miss any there. So you can count them with me now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I didn't have to do any of that borrowing or anything. I could just count up from 192 to 1,003. I didn't have to do any borrowing. Because my two numbers were so close to each other, I could just count up. So let's revisit our success criteria, friends. Look here once. Almost done. Almost done. Look here. I am able to look at the subtraction problem and then choose a strategy. Right? So I look at the problem and I say, oh, I could do this. That's going to be a lot of work though. Or there's the strategy I know of counting on to subtract. And you know what? With this problem, it's going to be easier. It's going to be quicker. There's going to be less chances of me making a mistake, I'm thinking, or forgetting a step. Can I thank you all for letting me come in?
Yeah.
Nice work, friends. So remember to always look at the problem first and think what strategy is going to work best. And And remember, counting on to subtract is a good strategy sometimes.
Sometimes.
You don't want to use it. You don't want to use it with this one, do you?
No.
No. Woo! That would take forever. Counting on to subtract, not a good strategy with this one. The other three, it's a great strategy.
Great. It's great.
All right. Everybody say bye to the camera.
Bye.
All right.
Bye.
All right.
Bye. Bye.
Cut it there.